Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial Podcast. It's the podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. Today on the show, we're talking to Central Gwinnett High School, Central Gwinnett Lawrenceville High School, and the School of the Arts and all the amazing programs that they have for students in Lawrenceville. You don't want to miss this conversation. Check it out. All right, guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial Podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. And we can't talk about Lawrenceville without talking about Central Gwinnett High School, School of the Arts. Shane, Megan, welcome. I want to kick it off just by you guys introducing yourself. So Shane, why don't you take it, kind of tell people who you are and what you're doing over there.
Absolutely. My name is Shane Orr, and I am the very proud principal of Central Gwinnett Lawrenceville High School.
Woohoo! All right.
My name is Megan Rose Houchins, and I am an assistant principal at Central Gwinnett Lawrenceville High School. Specifically, I am the assistant principal who works most closely with School of the Arts at Central Gwinnett.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of big developments for anybody who's been driving down the Lawrenceville Highway right there. It is a lot of construction, a lot of growth over the last few years. You guys are completed. Y'all are working. What is the School of the Arts? Let's maybe tell the story about how that started.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think this idea at least goes back to 2014. I think when our current mayor was a city councilman, I remember discussions about the possibility of a School of the Arts being built somewhere in Lawrenceville, just to be or accompany some of the growth and some of the revitalization that's taking place in the city of Lawrenceville. Obviously, the arts are a big part of our city, and so about 3 years ago, that actually came to fruition. So the city of Lawrenceville and Gwinnett County Public Schools worked together to build a brand new fine arts facility, and then Superintendent Wilbanks charged me and Megan, kind of roped her in at the time, to help us develop this School of the Arts at Central Gwinnett High School.
Wow. And so there's a partnership between the city and the school. Like, how does that kind of function and work?
Sure. It's a very unique partnership. I don't think that there is another partnership like that in Gwinnett County Public Schools. I was very intentional in mentioning Central Gwinnett Lawrenceville High School. That's that's out there on the sign. I'm always really quick to point that out. But Central has always served the city. We have always served the city of Lawrenceville. Always had a really good partnership with our city, and for this particular venture, our current mayor and our previous mayor were Central Gwinnett graduates, so that made that partnership just a little bit tighter. But I know that the city was very generous in putting in some funds in partnership with Gwinnett County Public Schools to build this beautiful new facility that sits on Central Gwinnett's campus.
Yeah, it really is amazing. Maybe tell us some of the things that go on in the School of the Arts. Like, what is it?
Sure. School of the Arts is many things. We are the Fine Arts Department at Central Gwinnett High School. So we serve all the students at Central. We also have what we call our SOTA Fellows students. SOTA Fellows students focus their elective choices in arts classes. It's kind of an exploratory arts experience. So these are students who have a traditional schedule that all the students at Central have, but they're able to take 3, sometimes 4 arts classes in their school schedule.
That's amazing.
And they do it different ways. So fellow students might take 3 art classes. They might take painting and sculpture and photography, or they mix it up because they're interested in a variety of arts classes. They might be in band, but then they also take theater and they also take ceramics.
I see.
And then,
you said it's exploratory, so they're really just trying to find out like what's something that really grabs them.
Absolutely, and they'll take those classes over the course of their 4 years. They'll complete fine arts pathways, but we also have our conservatories. Our conservatories are our audition-based program. So this one's a little bit different.
Yeah,
that's unique to School of the Arts. The conservatory program, these students it's almost like they're in college. They're majoring in a specific arts form.
I see.
conservatory just means a specialized focus in a specific arts discipline. So we have students who are majoring in art and design. They're majoring in dance, music technology, theater, or voice. So we have 5 majors for our students, and they spend the majority of their day in their arts classes. The way that it works is they take their academic courses in the morning, and then after lunch, they spend the rest of their day in courses for their major.
Wow. That is different.
So if, for your audience who's old enough to remember the old show Fame.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah.
See, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's exactly the way we kind of bring that picture to life. It's very similar to that.
I do think
it breaks out in musicals all day long. I see.
It's not too far from the truth.
You joke, but it really happens.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really good. Well, that's fun. Is it open for just students in Lawrenceville? Is it open for other students? Like, how does it work? How do you get into the School of the Arts and all that?
Sure. So it is. It is. So we are a school within a school model. So every student that is a student for School of the Arts at Central Gwinnett is a Central Gwinnett High School student. But it is open to anyone in Gwinnett County Public Schools who is in good standing for a permissive transfer. So a student, they have to have that love and that passion for that particular arts area. But not only that, to be eligible for a permissive, they have to be in good standing with their current school. In other words, good grades, attendance, discipline, all of those types of things. And then there is an audition season, and there are requirements for that. And then if they want to put themselves through that process, our staff does a great job of making some of those selections.
So they apply, and then they get called for an audition, and then they come in and...
That's correct.
Wow, that's really good.
So not only that, but we try to have an opportunity to prepare those students for that audition process. We know that this is kind of new. These are still high school students, but these are high school students who are pretty certain that they are going to enter a career in their particular discipline, or they are going to go to college. They're pretty certain.
Yeah.
So Megan might want to speak a little bit about how we prep those students for.
Please.
Sure. We do have information session and audition workshops for our students. So those take place in the fall. They took place earlier this month. And we provide the opportunity for students to get to speak directly to the directors and hear from them what that audition experience is going to be like, get some tips and some feedback, just to help them make that process a little bit less scary for students who've not done this
Make
before.
them comfortable and kind of give them a nice feel for it. So you guys have been open for 2 years now, right? About 2 years?
Feels longer than that.
Feels long. Has it been longer?
We're in the middle of year 3.
Yeah, middle of year 3.
Okay, so 3 years.
Yes.
So maybe you got some stories. So what are some highlights, some of the wins, some of the things that have come out of the program that you're just the most proud of?
Well, I would say first and foremost, last year our School of the Arts students had a 100% graduation rate. So we're really excited about that for them.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
Also, 100% of our art students who took AP art exams passed those exams for college credit. We're just coming off our second region championship for one-act play competition.
Oh, my
So we're really excited about the 2 years that we've been able to compete in the Georgia High School Athletic Association one-act play competition.
Wow.
We won our region both years. We placed 4th at state last year, and just this past weekend we placed 2nd at state. So we're very excited about that.
Wow.
Also, our GHP, we did send 8 students to Governor's Honors Program last year. That was in theater, in voice, in dance, and violin, and visual arts. So we're very excited about that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge wins, and those are awesome things. From a principal standpoint, I would say one of the things I'm most proud of is how we began the show, this partnership that we have within our community. That's one of the things that makes Central Gwinnett High School such a unique place.
I see.
Is those partnerships with the city and with some of our arts community friends that are in the city who have been very, very supportive of that.
Sure.
It's just great when, we always say good schools build great communities, but great communities pour into their schools, and this is a real opportunity or a real example of that coming to life. So that I would say just the existence of the school itself and coexisting with a school that's been on this site since 1957 is a true example of blending that old and new and coming together to make something beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, I think just the embracing of the arts from City of Lawrenceville standpoint, and then what you guys are doing over there, it really fosters that to grow, which is, it's very rare. You don't really see that in a lot of communities. So this is kind of a very special thing that other communities can kind of do and follow. I think that'll be something that we see grow. So pretty cool.
Yes.
Now, Megan, you have a background in theater. You're talking about one-out plays and everything. Maybe tell us a little bit about you and your background and how you got to Central. Yeah, of course.
Sure, I do. I guess have a background in theater. I was a theater major in college, and then I became a teacher, and I did teach theater for a couple of years, and then came to Central where I was an academy coach. That was back in 2016, and my role there was to focus on community partnerships and get our kids out experiencing all of the things that Lawrenceville has to offer.
Sure.
And then also bringing professionals into our classroom to teach our students. I do have a theater company I'm not as involved with anymore. I'm kind of I just
Wow.
make sure that the bills get paid. That's really all I do for that. But I try to stay aware of what's going on in the arts community in Atlanta. And
So cool that you get to work in your field of passion and then bring up these students and get to share that with them. So that's pretty awesome. Shane, you've been around for a while in Gwinnett. Kind of maybe tell us your journey.
Sure. Yeah. I elementary, middle, high school, all in the Central Gwinnett High School cluster.
Wow. So you're homegrown.
I am
homegrown leadership.
Very
Love
much.
it.
Very much.
It's a rare thing these days. So that's good.
It is. The youngest of four siblings to graduate from Central Gwinnett High School. So that's something that I'm pretty proud of. And
That's where you got your resiliency and your toughness, right?
I guess. Maybe that's it. But absolutely been in Gwinnett County Public Schools as an employee for 23 years now. And, I love it. I'm Team Gwinnett. I'm Team Central Gwinnett. Every day that I get the opportunity to walk into that building, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about a family member or friends or, people that have walked those same hallways.
Sure.
So I take a lot of pride in that. And I think my partnership with Megan and School of the Arts and blending that old and new just kind of worked out well. Yeah,
no, that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the partnerships between the city and you guys, because it's just such a part of your DNA at Central. Long history there, as you've mentioned, and for a long time, it would be like, oh, that's the school that has the castle. There's a castle on the football. Have you seen this? And now you've got this big School of the Arts, which is just kind of a revolutionary thing. It's brand new. What would be your advice for other communities that are thinking about maybe doing something like this? What are some of the things you've learned along the way that maybe you've done and, lessons learned, things you might have done differently for other communities?
I think I would probably tell anyone, start small with a couple of really strong partnerships, and it'll grow from there. Then things will start coming to you. So I would say, start small and be confident that it will grow, it will build.
Yeah.
I was very excited in the spring. We were doing our spring musical at the Lawrenceville Arts Center, the brand new, beautiful Lawrenceville Arts Center. And some of our students were walking along the sidewalk, and there were cars stopping and just community members calling out, "I saw your show. It was so great."
Oh, that's awesome.
So I thought that was just a really neat moment to see the kids downtown Lawrenceville and just community members recognizing them and
that's
giving
awesome.
them a shout out. So
Very charming.
Sure, I would agree with all of those things, and I would also say to do your homework as well. I think Team Gwinnett did a great job of saying, okay, this is what we want to do on your campus. Now go see lots of different places who are doing this.
Right.
So we had the opportunity to visit a lot of different schools locally, regionally, nationally, and we asked a lot of those questions. And many of those questions were based around, if you could start over and do this again, what were some of those lessons that you learned? So we tried to take what we learned from those places that we visited and implement some of those things into the School of the Arts at Central Gwinnett. Not totally duplicate, because we knew we were something unique, but I think that homework has kind of paid off for us.
Yeah.
And City of Lawrenceville has done a great job reaching out to us once we were established, and we worked with them over the summer. They wanted to work with our artists, our visual artists, in bringing more art to our city.
That's great.
And so a lot of our visual artists were able to connect with other community events and be present at other community events and be doing their art for the community. So just the employees at the City of Lawrenceville reaching out, say, hey, how can you guys come out and work with us on our community events too?
That's great.
So their willingness to do that and to reach out to us has been very beneficial.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, they've invested in the performing arts, and then their arts council's always working on projects. And anytime you can involve students in those things, it's just a huge win. And it just kind of helps give the city that family feel. It's also an economic development win. Sure. It's a workforce development win. And Lawrenceville's still booming and growing, and there's a lot of homes that are landed in those city limits, a lot of new developments coming into play. You've got the hospital that's building up, and those are families that'll be moving into the area for doctors and folks that might be interested in the arts. Their kids might be interested in the arts, and having this in this city is just a big deal. Can't even stress what big deal it was. There was nothing for artists 20 years ago. Nothing. I mean, you might have a chorus class or something like that, but this is a whole different ball game. Really does prepare you for a fine arts education later on down the line. If you want to go to college for that, go get your Master of Fine Arts. That trajectory starting early is just, as we've learned, just across the board in education, the earlier you can start, the better chance for these students and these artists, which is just
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's awesome. You guys are also partner with the city on a lot of things: Summer of Impact, internship programs. You guys, there's a lot of things going on. Maybe talk about some of that.
Yeah, sure. Summer of Impact. Catch me on my years here,
leaders,
but legacy leaders. So, at least 4 years involved with that. With our the other school in the city of Lawrenceville, Discovery High School.
Right.
But yes, this is just an opportunity for some of our downtown business owners and businesses to really invest in our students. So we have students who have an opportunity to. We put out the all call in our lunchroom saying, hey, if you're interested in a paid internship with the city of Lawrenceville or a business in Lawrenceville, let us know, and we take those all of that interest, and then we kind of vet them and put them through a process of, okay, this is what it's going to mean for you. Here is how you prepare for a job interview. Here are some of those soft skills that you're going to need, and then they'll actually sit down with those business owners and go through that process. And then those folks will select students to work alongside of them with the city, and it's just been an eye-opening experience for not only our students, who many of the times had no idea that this is what went into working with the city water or things like that. But it's been an eye-opening experience for them too. Hey, you guys have great kids that we would love to employ, and it's a win for both of us. I know one of the goals for our city is we want our students to live, work, and play here. I mean, that's it. So take them from Central and get them employed, and we want them to stay here and thrive here. So it's a great opportunity.
And Summer of Impact has grown into longer employment too. We've had students who have gone through the Summer of Impact internship and are right now still working for that company throughout the school year too. So
it's just a great way to think about things. I mean, it's hard to remember what it's like to be a high school student, and your worldview isn't necessarily local anymore. Because you're consuming all this content and you're looking out to the world, or maybe you got your eyes on a culture creating capital like a New York or a Nashville or a LA or something, and you're thinking, oh, I got to go out somewhere to do something. And it's just easy to bypass what is local and to have the roots, and then to help foster the relationship with the businesses to introduce these students to a place of employment. It's a major thing, and it feels more like home. And then you feel like there's a little bit more peace. There's a little bit less worry. There's opportunities right across the street. I mean, that's like a revelation for a student or our young mind who just has the world on their shoulders, not sure what to do. To have a leg up like that and get some professional work experience is another gigantic win for the city of Lawrenceville, for sure. So that's awesome. You guys are part of that. That's really, really cool. Anything else you guys would like to talk about? I know you said auditions coming up, so let's talk about how you do that. Like, if you're interested, you like what you hear, maybe tell us how that can happen.
Sure. You should visit gcpsk12.org/SOTA.
All right.
And at the top of that website, you'll find our application, as well as the audition requirements. I do want to point out that our fellow students is a non-audition application, so students can still apply to come and study with us in that more exploratory fellows option without an audition. But if we do encourage you to come audition, I will also point out that it is primarily auditioning rising 9th grade students. So if you're in middle school right now, if you're an 8th grader, and you are interested in focusing your high school experience in an art-centric way, then we definitely encourage you to come and fill out that application. We let students know early December when their audition is, and it'll be January 2nd or 3rd. Students find out if they're accepted mid-January. And then from there, we start the process of enrollment in order to keep everyone excited and get ready for the new school year. We also do what we call summer intensive, and that is a week for students to come out and get to know their new peers, to get to know their teachers, to get to know our school. We do a showcase and a big community picnic with that also, to kind of kick off our school year and welcome all of our students. So that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, thank you guys for coming out today and kind of sharing this awesome vision and everything that's been happening and everything you've been doing. Shane, anything you'd like to add before we close?
No, I would just add to what Megan said. It's not necessarily if you've been taking art lessons or dance lessons since you were 3 years old. If you have a passion for the arts and you are committed to dedicating a lot of time and a lot of work into growing in that particular field, then come and check us out. We would love to have you at School of the Arts at Central Gwinnett. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great place to be. I think our students are extremely happy. It's always a little bit of nervousness when you leave a particular school or a particular friend group and you come there, but what we have found is that our School of the Arts students really enjoy being around and belonging to some like-minded peers who are very passionate about this thing or that thing, and they find a lot of comfort in that. So I'd say don't be nervous. If you have a passion, come see us.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And parents, it is a creative economy. You want the best for your child. You want the best for your student. And opportunities like this make it happen to where there is a pathway for success out there. Guys, thanks for listening. Lawrenceville Bicentennial Podcast. share this episode with your friends if you know anybody out there who might be interested in this. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's usually in the top right of most of the podcast players out there. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you.